You step off the plane in Pyongyang with a camera around your neck and a plan you've spent 11 months building. Fly in as a tourist, break into Kim Jong-un's compound at night, hack his laptop, copy everything, and cross the DMZ before sunrise. The compound is 12 square kilometers of electrified fencing, anti-aircraft guns, and 120,000 soldiers whose only job is making sure nobody gets close. Not gonna lie, that's insane, but you're already here. 2 minders are already waiting at the bottom of the stairs. Every tourist gets 2. They follow you everywhere, watch everything, write everything down. The customs officer stamps your passport without looking up. You smile. He doesn't. Welcome to the most isolated country on Earth. Tonight, when this city goes dark, you move. They give you 2 minders. Every tourist gets 2. Mr. Pak, military background, blinks about once per minute. Terrifying eye contact. The younger one never stops scribbling in a notebook. They call this guidance. The whole setup is absurd. 2 grown men babysitting a tourist, taking photos of statues. Ridiculous. And yet standard procedure here. Pyongyang is silent. Dead silent. The bus rolls through 6-lane roads built for traffic that doesn't exist. Not a car horn, not a radio. A single traffic officer stands at an empty intersection, directing air with the precision of someone whose life depends on looking busy. They take you to the Kumsusan Palace, Kim Il-sung's mausoleum. You bow twice. Mr. Pak checks your angle like a geometry teacher grading posture. Respect isn't optional here. To be fair, neither is breathing quietly. Your eyes aren't on the coffin though, because you're too busy counting the 14 security cameras mounted in this room alone. Memorizing the guard rotation schedule that cycles every 11 minutes, cataloging the electronic locks on the east side doors, the keycard readers beside each handle, and the motion sensors installed at ankle height that every other tourist walks past without a second glance. Every detail lands in a map you're building inside your head. Tonight, you'll need every single one. The Yanggakdo International Hotel sits on an island in the Taedong River. One bridge connects it to the city. Guests can't leave after 10 p.m. An island, one exit, cameras in every hallway, minders on every floor. So how do you escape an island you were never supposed to leave? That part's coming. But first, you need to understand what happens inside that hotel after midnight. 2:14 a.m., you dropped a coin near the hallway camera at 6 p.m. and watched the guard take 3 full minutes to notice. That told you everything. Sloppy response time, government paycheck energy, service elevator, basement, past the 5th floor that doesn't appear on any map. Every tourist whispers about that floor. Listening rooms, recording equipment. Someone down there is awake right now, cataloging conversations from every hotel room on the building, including yours. That floor is a problem for another day. Outside, Pyongyang runs on 4 hours of electricity daily. Right now, the city is blacked out. 8 kilometers of darkness between you and the river crossing. A foreigner walking alone at 2 a.m. in the city is a walking death wish. But darkness covers everything. You swim the Taedong where the bridge meets the checkpoint. 40 meters, 4 degrees. Your lungs compress into something the size of a walnut. Your fingers go numb at meter 12. Great. Excellent planning on the swimming part. You keep kicking because the alternative is a cell the size of a closet for the rest of your short, regrettable life. A vehicle waits 3 blocks north. Somebody placed it there. You're not asking who. 97 kilometers of highway built for a war that hasn't started. You pass 2 military checkpoints. The plates clear both. Guards barely glance up from their cigarettes. But something's wrong. Checkpoint 2 had 3 guards. Your intel said 2. Somebody changed the rotation, which means your timing window at Ryongsong is probably blown. You grip the wheel tighter. Turning back means swimming that river again. Wet clothes in a hotel lobby, minders asking where you've been, a plane home. You keep driving. Stupid decision, but it's yours. What's waiting inside that compound is worse than anything on this road. You don't know that yet. 12 square kilometers of paranoia turned into architecture, 6 concentric security rings, anti-tank ditches, electrified fencing. You need to crack 4 of those rings, in the dark, alone, with wet clothes. Not gonna lie, that's insane. But you're already here. The outer fence resets for 9 seconds every 4 hours during maintenance. You've watched satellite feeds for 11 months waiting for this window. 9 seconds. Cut 2 links, slide through, don't breathe loudly. Inside the second ring, you see something that makes you stop. A garage with the door open. 40 luxury vehicles under fluorescent lights. Mercedes Maybachs. Rolls Royces. A Lexus LX 570. Every car in that room costs more than a North Korean family earns in 1,000 lifetimes. In a country where people strip bark off trees to eat during famine. Funny, nobody's laughing. You keep moving. Service corridor. Kitchen smelling like Kobe beef at 3 a.m. Next room, 1,000 DVDs sorted by genre. Then a basketball court with regulation NBA markings and a signed Dennis Rodman jersey under glass. Scoreboard frozen at 110 from the exhibition game. Normal dictator stuff. Wait, a popcorn machine in the same building where execution orders are filed. Not kidding. That's it. That's the country. Luxury and murder in the same hallway. 3rd floor, east wing, private office. An iMac sits on a mahogany desk. Beside it, a spotless ashtray. His sister, Kim Yo-jong, collects every cigarette butt personally, bags them, prevents DNA collection. Picture that. You're the most powerful man in a country of 25 million, and you've assigned your sister to pick up your cigarette butts. USB drive goes in. Red Star OS boots a file manager that looks friendly. It isn't. Every file watermarked with a serial number, every document traceable to the machine that opened it. 8 minutes before next patrol. You open the first thing you see. Execution orders. 340 people killed since 2011. The methods are listed in a neat column: anti-aircraft guns, flamethrowers, mortar rounds. One general got killed for falling asleep in a meeting, another for making a phone call in the same building as Kim. I think you read that twice. A phone call. Shocking. That's crazy. Next, the Songbun database. Every citizen classified into 51 loyalty categories. Your score decides if you eat, if your kids go to school, if you're allowed to exist in certain cities. It's a credit score, except it determines whether your family starves. Then the Lazarus Group files. State-sponsored hackers. 6 billion in stolen cryptocurrency across 30 countries. The Bybit job from 2025 is right there in the logs. 1.5 billion, one afternoon. This country doesn't have a functioning economy. It has a functioning theft operation. There's also a Netflix account, active subscription, halfway through a K-drama, and a Hennessy order form, 400 bottles, annual, for one man. You pull the drive, 7 minutes, 12 seconds. Time to go. Red flash on the screen. Korean characters. Red Star OS logged the USB insertion the moment you plugged in. A silent alert went out 43 seconds ago. You've been standing in this room for 7 minutes. The alarm started at minute 6. You had a 1-minute head start. You've already burned it reading this screen. 20 seconds. That's all. Supreme Guard Command seals every exit. 120,000 soldiers, dogs, helicopters, thermal cameras. One job: protect this building. You're inside it. Down, not back. Kim keeps a private train station under this building connected to a 20-station emergency rail network. A marble road runs alongside it. 4 meters wide, 3 tall, built to evacuate one person on Earth. You'll borrow it. Skip the train. Cameras cover every inch of that platform. A maintenance tunnel runs parallel with 0 cameras. Run. Dogs. Behind you. Shepherds. Trained to track 18 hours straight. Barking bounces off walls. Can't tell how far. 200 meters? 30? Out. 2 clicks east. Open countryside. Rice paddies. Silence so deep, your heartbeat sounds like a drum against your ribs. Helicopter. Behind the compound. Searchlight. Sweeping. Run. Don't stop. 3 hours of running ahead. And what's waiting at the end? 800,000 landmines. But getting there alive is a problem you haven't solved yet. 160 kilometers to the DMZ. The Ghost Highway sits empty, like it does every night. A 6-lane road built for convoys of tanks that have never rolled. Tonight, that emptiness keeps you alive. You ditch the car at kilometer 94, roadblocks ahead. From here, your legs are the only engine left. The DMZ, 4 kilometers wide, 250 kilometers long, 800,000 landmines buried between you and South Korea. Every military on Earth calls this the most dangerous border in existence. You're about to walk into it. Tunnel number 3, found in 1978, a mile long, 240 feet underground, designed to move 30,000 troops per hour during an invasion. South Korea sealed the southern end with concrete and rebar. They left the northern entrance wide open. You crawl. Granite presses against your shoulders. Water soaks through everything. The tunnel smells like wet rock and decades of standoff. Somewhere above, 800,000 mines sit in the dirt, patient as religion. South Korean concrete seal. Rebar, 6 inches thick. But groundwater ignores borders. 30 years of seepage carved a crack barely wide enough for a person. You push through, shoulder pops. Sounds like a branch cracking inside your body. Teeth clenched. Push harder. Dying underground in a war tunnel is not the ending you picked. Light, South Korean fluorescence. Relief floods your chest so hard you almost throw up. A patrol spots you 11 minutes later. Bleeding, soaked, one arm hanging wrong. You hold up the USB drive with the hand that still works. 340 execution orders, 25 million citizens scored and sorted like inventory, 6 billion in stolen crypto, 400 bottles of Hennessy per year. All of it on a drive the size of your thumbnail. So, what happens when the world sees it? You made it. The grief hits later. Most people who walk into that compound don't walk out. Tragic, but not unusual here. But nothing on that drive is new. Those executions made the news. People have documented the famine for decades. Every intelligence agency on Earth knows about the hacking. And those luxury cars sit 90 miles from villages where children eat corn husks. Everybody knows, nobody moves.